You might be reaching for foods that seem healthy, maybe even full of blueberries, thinking you're making the right choice. But here's the truth. Some common breakfast combos could be quietly draining your muscle strength, especially in your legs. Now, that might sound surprising. After all, blueberries are packed with antioxidants, right? True, but it's not always about what you eat. It's also about what you eat with it. Today, we're going to talk about 8 foods that might be sabotaging your muscle health when combined with blueberries. These aren't exotic dishes you'd never touch. No, they're the everyday favorites, things you probably had this week without a second thought. And the way they affect your body, especially if you're over 60, might just change how you plan your next breakfast. So, if you've been feeling like your legs get tired more easily, or your strength isn't what it used to be, don't brush it off as just aging. Your meals might be playing a bigger role than you think. Curious yet? Drop a 1 in the comments if you've eaten blueberries this week, or a 0 if you haven't. And hey, make sure to subscribe to Health 365 for more tips like this. Let's dig into the first breakfast culprit and see why it might be time to rethink that creamy cup of flavored yogurt. That creamy fruit swirl yogurt you grab in the morning? It might taste like a sweet little gift to your health, but it's often loaded with more sugar than a slice of cake. Flavored yogurt, especially the ones with blueberry or fruit on the bottom varieties, can pack over 20 grams of sugar per serving. That's like tossing 5 teaspoons of sugar into your breakfast. Now, here's the tricky part. When you combine high-sugar yogurt with something as powerful as blueberries, you're not doing your body a favor. You're setting it up for inflammation. Excess sugar in the bloodstream has been shown in studies from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology to trigger systemic inflammation, which can interfere with muscle recovery and performance. That means slower healing after your walks or workouts, and more stiffness in your legs. Muscles, especially as we age, rely on steady fuel and a calm internal environment to rebuild and stay strong. But sugar causes a spike in insulin, followed by a crash that leaves your muscles struggling to recover. Instead of getting stronger, they're left weakened over time. Picture this. You start your day with a blueberry parfait, thinking it's a health win. But that sweetened yogurt is actually flooding your body with sugar, dulling the antioxidants in those blueberries and canceling out their benefits. A 2021 study in Nutrition Research Reviews found that the absorption of polyphenols, the compounds that make blueberries such a superfood, can be significantly reduced in the presence of high sugar levels. So, what can you do? The next time you reach for yogurt, go for plain Greek yogurt. Add your own fresh blueberries and maybe a sprinkle of cinnamon for flavor without the sugar spike. That way, your muscles get the protein they need, your inflammation stays low, and those blueberries can shine the way they're supposed to. All right, now that we've cleaned up the yogurt situation, let's move to the next breakfast favorite that might be working against your muscles. About that crunchy bowl of cereal that feels like a nostalgic hug from childhood. You pour some cornflakes into a bowl, toss in a handful of blueberries, maybe a splash of milk, and voila, breakfast is served. But here's what's really happening behind the scenes. Refined cereals, even the ones that look healthy, are often stripped of their natural fiber and nutrients. What's left behind is mostly fast-digesting starch. That starch breaks down quickly into sugar, sending your blood glucose soaring. Your body responds by pumping out insulin, and just like with flavored yogurt, you're left with that familiar sugar crash. But more importantly, this spike interferes with how your body absorbs and utilizes protein, a key ingredient your muscles desperately need, especially after age 60. A 2020 study in the American Journal of Physiology showed that when blood sugar is elevated, muscle protein synthesis, the process your body uses to build and repair muscle, actually slows down. And if that cereal happens to be sweetened granola or frosted flakes, the effect gets even worse. Think of it like this. Your muscles are like little construction crews, and protein is the building material. But when your blood is flooded with sugar, those crews can't get the supplies they need. So instead of building strong legs, your body stays in maintenance mode. Or worse, it starts breaking muscle down. If you really love cereal in the morning, don't worry. You don't have to say goodbye. Instead, switch to whole grain oats or high-fiber cereal with no added sugar. Add blueberries and some unsweetened almond milk, and suddenly your breakfast becomes a muscle-supporting powerhouse. Ready to check what's next on the list? Let's take a bite into something warm and fluffy, but maybe not as innocent as it looks. Warm, golden pancakes stacked high, dotted with blueberries, drizzled in syrup. Sounds like comfort on a plate, right? For many Americans, it's the classic weekend treat. But what you may not realize is that behind the fluff and sweetness hides a perfect storm for muscle decline. Pancakes and waffles are made with refined white flour, a type of fast-digesting carbohydrate. Combine that with sugary toppings or even fruit syrup, and you've got a double hit of simple carbs and sugar. It's a recipe that spikes blood sugar quickly and repeatedly, and when that becomes a habit, your muscle health pays the price. Here's what's going on. A 2019 study in the journal Metabolism found that diets high in refined carbs and sugars are linked with increased visceral fat, the kind that wraps around your organs. That type of fat is particularly harmful because it produces hormones that disrupt testosterone levels. And testosterone isn't just for bodybuilders. It plays a big role in maintaining muscle mass and bone strength in both men and women, especially as we age. So imagine this. Your tasty blueberry pancakes might be lowering your testosterone bit by bit over time, leading to decreased leg strength, slower metabolism, and that creeping feeling of weakness in your body. And no, the handful of blueberries on top can't undo that damage. Not when they're swimming in syrup and flour. What's the better move? If you love pancakes, try making your own at home with almond flour or oat flour, using mashed bananas or unsweetened applesauce as sweeteners. Top with fresh blueberries and a light drizzle of pure maple syrup if you must. But skip the whipped cream and syrup floods. All right, we've looked at the golden fluff. Now, let's cool things down a bit and see why your favorite frozen treat could be chilling your muscle gains. Ah, ice cream. That creamy cold scoop of joy on a summer day, especially when it's blueberry flavored or served with cheesecake. It feels like a little indulgence, something small that surely couldn't hurt. But when it comes to your muscles and the way your body absorbs nutrients, this sweet treat might be doing more harm than you'd think. Most ice creams, and especially blueberry cheesecakes, are loaded with two things: saturated fats and added sugars. That's a dangerous duo. Saturated fats, when eaten in excess, can interfere with how your body uses antioxidants from healthy foods like blueberries. According to a 2022 study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry, high levels of saturated fat can block the cellular uptake of anthocyanins, the exact antioxidant compounds that give blueberries their powerful benefits. That means even if you're eating the blueberries, your body might not be absorbing their protective nutrients. The sugar in these desserts compounds the issue by further inflaming your digestive system, weakening your immune response, and adding to overall muscle fatigue. Here's a scenario. You've had a light dinner and decide to treat yourself to some blueberry ice cream. Seems harmless. But instead of helping your body recover from the day's wear and tear, the sugar and fat are silently slowing down the repair process, making your muscles stiffer and more prone to cramping the next morning. So what can you do? If you're craving something cold and sweet, try frozen Greek yogurt with no added sugar. Blend it with fresh blueberries and a touch of vanilla extract. You'll get that creamy satisfaction without robbing your body of its chance to heal and stay strong. Now, let's keep going. Because even when you think you're eating healthy, like that warm bowl of oats with a little honey, there's a hidden twist you need to know. Oatmeal and honey. It sounds like a wholesome, heartwarming breakfast, rich in fiber, naturally sweet, and often paired with fresh fruit like blueberries. What could possibly go wrong? Well, when it comes to supporting your muscles, especially after age 60, this seemingly healthy combo might be more of a slowdown than a superfood. The key issue here is digestion. Oatmeal is high in soluble fiber, which is excellent for heart health and digestion in general. But when you load it with honey, essentially pure sugar, you're asking your gut to process a lot at once. Fiber slows things down, sugar speeds things up. Together, they can confuse your digestive system and lead to bloating, discomfort, and slower nutrient absorption. Why does that matter? Because after exercise or even a long walk, your muscles are primed to absorb protein and rebuild. But if your gut is busy digesting a heavy, high-fiber, high-sugar meal, that protein might not get where it needs to go in time. In fact, a 2018 study published in Clinical Nutrition found that post-workout meals high in fiber and sugar delayed amino acid uptake into muscles by over 30%. That's a big deal. It means your muscles aren't getting the building blocks they need to recover and grow stronger, leaving you more tired and sore over time. Let's paint the picture. You start your day with a cozy bowl of oats, drizzle in a bit of honey, and toss in some blueberries. It feels nourishing. But by mid-morning, you feel heavy, a little sluggish, maybe even a bit achy in your legs. That's not coincidence, it's biology. If oatmeal is your morning ritual, try tweaking it. Use rolled oats instead of instant. Skip the honey and sweeten naturally with cinnamon or mashed banana. Add a spoonful of protein, like Greek yogurt or a few crushed nuts, to help your muscles get what they need. All right, we've stirred through the warm and hearty. Now, let's sip on something you might never have guessed could quietly steal your strength: coffee and tea. Those familiar comforts that start the day for millions. For many folks, it's unthinkable to begin a morning without that warm mug in hand. But if you're sipping your coffee right before or after enjoying blueberries, there's something you need to know. Caffeine might be quietly interfering with your body's ability to absorb one crucial mineral: iron. Why does that matter for your muscles? Iron is essential for transporting oxygen in the blood. When your iron levels drop, even slightly, your muscles, especially in your legs, don't get the oxygen they need. This can lead to feelings of fatigue, heaviness, and muscle weakness over time. A 2017 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that drinking coffee or tea with meals high in antioxidants, like blueberries, can reduce iron absorption by up to 60%. That's not a small drop. It's a huge difference that can affect your energy and muscle function, especially if you're already prone to low iron levels, which is common in older adults. Think of it this way: you're doing your best, adding blueberries to your breakfast to boost your health. But if you wash it down with coffee, your body might not be able to pull in the iron it needs. Not from the berries, not from the rest of your meal. Over time, that can mean mild anemia, slower recovery from activity, and more muscle soreness than usual. What can you do instead? Try spacing your coffee or tea at least 1 hour before or after eating blueberries or other iron-rich foods. That simple shift gives your body a better chance to absorb the iron it needs without the caffeine getting in the way. We've sipped and stirred our way through a lot, but there's one more surprise on the plate. Something green and leafy that's often praised for its health benefits, but might be holding your bones and muscles back. Spinach is one of those foods that wears a health halo. Toss a handful of raw leaves into a smoothie or salad, and it instantly feels like you're doing something great for your body. But if you're regularly eating raw spinach alongside blueberries, especially in the same meal, there's a hidden catch that could be quietly weakening your bones and muscles. Raw spinach is high in oxalates, natural compounds that can bind to minerals in your gut, especially calcium. Calcium, as you know, is critical not just for strong bones, but also for proper muscle contractions. Without enough available calcium, your muscles may cramp more easily, feel tired faster, and recover slower after any physical activity. Here's the kicker. When oxalates bind with calcium in the digestive tract, they form crystals that your body can't absorb. That means even if you're eating enough calcium, your body might not be getting it. A 2016 study in the journal Frontiers in Nutrition showed that regular intake of high oxalate foods, especially in raw form, significantly reduced calcium absorption in older adults. Imagine this. You're trying to eat healthy. A fresh blueberry spinach salad seems like the perfect light lunch. But over time, the oxalates from raw spinach could interfere with the very minerals your muscles and bones rely on, leading to weakness, stiffness, and even an increased risk of falls. Does that mean spinach is bad? Not at all. But how you prepare it matters. Lightly steaming spinach reduces its oxalate content by over 40%, making the calcium in your meal more accessible. And when you pair it with foods rich in vitamin C, like bell peppers or even a squeeze of lemon, you help your body absorb more nutrients, not less. So before you toss another handful of raw greens into your blender, consider giving them a quick steam first. It's a small step that can make a big difference in how your body uses all the good stuff you're feeding it. Now that we've peeled back the truth behind these innocent-looking food combos, let's zoom in on one of the sneakiest culprits of all: mixed fruit smoothies. Mixed fruit smoothies often wear the disguise of a health halo. Colorful, refreshing, and packed with fruits like bananas, pineapples, grapes, and, of course, blueberries. But for adults over 60, especially those trying to preserve muscle strength and prevent leg weakness, this combo may be silently working against you. When blueberries are blended with high-sugar fruits like ripe bananas, mangoes, or canned fruits, the total sugar content of the smoothie can skyrocket, even without adding any sweeteners. And while it's natural sugar, it still causes a sharp rise in blood glucose levels. This spike triggers an insulin response that, over time, promotes inflammation in the body, one of the silent enemies of muscle health. In seniors, this can reduce the efficiency of muscle protein synthesis, accelerating muscle loss, particularly in the legs, where age-related weakness often shows up first. To make things worse, many people add flavored yogurts, fruit juices, or sweetened protein powders to their smoothies, thinking it boosts nutrition. But these extras often contain added sugars and artificial ingredients that increase oxidative stress and disrupt muscle recovery after activity. Instead of nourishing your muscles, you may be unintentionally draining their strength, sip by sip. You might feel fine now, but gradually, you may notice your legs tiring faster on walks, stairs feeling steeper, and balance becoming harder to maintain. These are subtle signs of muscle decline, and often, the culprits are hiding in your blender. So while a mixed fruit smoothie might seem like a great start to the day, for aging muscles, it may be doing more harm than good. Now, let's bring all these hidden food traps together and talk about how to truly protect your strength as you age. Now you know how to make those tiny berries truly work for you. It's not about cutting everything out. It's about choosing combinations that help your muscles, not hold them back. Our bodies change with time, and every little choice we make at the table adds up. You don't need drastic overhauls, just a few mindful tweaks, like switching sweetened yogurt for plain, giving spinach a quick steam, or waiting an hour after your meal before sipping that coffee. can keep your legs stronger, longer. Your plate has more power than you realize, and with a bit of attention, it can support the strength, balance, and energy that help you move freely through the day. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to Health 365. Got questions or want to share what's on your plate this week? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Take care of those muscles. They've carried you far, and they've still got places to go.